Do not leave your cares at the door. Do not leave them there when you come into this place. Be open to forgiveness and transformation. Come on in, you are welcome here. And do not leave your cares at the door. Bring your pain and sorrow and joy. There's a place for them upon the altar of life. Be open to forgiveness and transformation. Come on in, you are welcome here. And do not leave your cares at the door. This is a place of grace, a place of losing and finding our way upon the winding road, meeting and parting, stumbling and starting over.
Every story is sacred here, even yours, even yours. So come on in.
And do not leave your cares at the door. Do not leave them there when you come into this place. Be open to forgiveness and transformation. Come on in, you are welcome here. And do not leave your cares at the door. Amen. Amen.
Good morning. Good morning. And welcome to the Emerson Unitarian Universalist congregation. It is so good to be together with all of you, both here and those of you who are online. Welcome. My name is Mary Klein-Golbitz, and I'm one of today's worship assistants. If you're joining us for the first time, welcome. As Unitarian Universalists, we are a people of diverse beliefs, but we share a common faith. That faith says that every person is worthy of love. That what we do in the world matters. And that we are connected to one another and to the earth. Whoever you are, wherever you are on your journey, you are most welcome here. For everyone here in person, you are invited to join us today for our congregation's annual birthday party. Yay. Right after the service, there will be an all-congregation photo, and we hope that you'll join us. For those online, we know you can't be in the photo today, but we know that you are very much a part of the Emerson family. After the photo, there will be a picnic, and we hope that you can all join us. Now we pause to light our chalice as a symbol of our shared Unitarian Universalist faith. Our chalice lighting words are by Reverend Robert Shibley. We sit in the shade of trees we did not plant. We drink from wells we did not dig. We have been warmed by fires that we did not build. We light this chalice in thanksgiving for those who passed their light to us. And now, in the spirit of love and beloved community, let's share in our congregational affirmation. We need not think alike to love alike. And now we invite you to greet and welcome each other to this new day. Those in the sanctuary, feel free to move around and offer greetings. And for those online, please use the chat to introduce yourself.
I look forward to continuing all those wonderful conversations at the picnic. My name is Reverend Christina Branum-Martin, and it is such an honor to be the settled minister here. And I have some opening words for you today from the book of Deuteronomy in the Hebrew Bible. This retelling of these ancient words are that we build on foundations we did not lay. We warm our hands by fires that we did not light. We sit in the shade of trees we did not plant, and we drink from wells we did not dig. And we profit from persons we did not know. And this is as it should be. Together, we are more than any one person could be. Together, we can build across generations. Together, we can renew our hope and faith in the life that is yet to unfold. Together, we can heed the call to a ministry of care and justice. And this line is the most important to my heart. We are ever bound in community. May it always be so. Let's sing together. Stand if you would like, or raise your voice from the seat. We're going to sing Spirit of Life, number 123.
Sing
And now we pause and reflect on matters of the heart. Thank you, Reverend Christina, for placing the stones. For this morning's ritual, we have water and we have river stones. The stones are smooth and the stones have weight. They're indicative of both life's pleasures and times of ease, as well as life's burdens and times of heaviness. The water receives these stones with ease and calmness. Each week, you are invited to write a joy, sorrow, or concern in this book, or mail it to Pastoral Care at emersonuu.org to be read. If you're online, we invite you to recreate this ritual at home. You place a stone in a bowl of water to honor what is in your heart. We begin by placing 3 stones in honor of the Cherokee and Muskogee nations of indigenous people who lived here before us, for those wrongly enslaved here who labored on this land, and for those hurting in current conflicts and wars that rage across the globe. And now we have thoughts and concerns from our community. From March Price, Jim Huey was in the hospital for some days this week and is now glad to be at home. Your support, prayers, and healing thoughts have been a comfort to us, and we thank you. From Susan Tomachuk and Joe Tomachuk. Joe's sister died on May 1st from complications of kidney problems and dialysis. She was in assisted living for many years, and she has 2 adult children and 3 adult grandchildren. Her husband, Sadir Tawari, preceded her in death for many years. From John Malik. Sandra Malik fell and broke her arm. Unfortunately, there are no other serious injuries. Your positive thoughts and energy are asked to speed her healing. From Carol Lango. I fractured my hip, and now I'm in rehab to regain my strength as I heal. The help I have received from Emersonians after the fall was wonderful, and I would like to share my gratitude to all those kind people who helped me. They are amazing. From Diane Kaiser. A few of us from the pagan group went up to the Mountain Light UU Church in Ellijay last Sunday. I delivered the message for the service about what paganism is. They were a friendly and hospitable bunch of people. Mountain Light's pagan group fed us lunch, and we enjoyed some good conversation about pagan stuff and made some new friends. And from Laura Trad and Chesley Gullidge, it is with a happy heart that today we are gaining a son-in-law. We would like to thank Reverend Christina for presiding over the marriage of our only daughter to a wonderful young man today, and all of you that have listened to us talk about the planning over the last year. And this is from Niles Oberg. He is overjoyed to escort his wife to church today after too long of an absence. Glad you're here. And from Rebecca Edwards. Leo Elvis Edwards will be here next Sunday from Chicago. We are celebrating Sophie Edwards' graduation from UGA with a bachelor's degree in elementary education. Thanks to all who have inspired my children. And from Sydney Smith, my mother is in the hospital with kidney failure and dialysis and an infection and pneumonia. She could use some good thoughts, prayers sent her way. And finally from Trin Barron, Riley Lyon had a tooth extraction yesterday. He isn't in a lot of discomfort, but positive wishes and thoughts are appreciated. In thankful awareness, let's say the Buddhist prayer of loving kindness. Please read the words with me. May we all be filled with loving kindness. May we be freed from harm and suffering. May we all be well in body, heart, and mind. May we all be at peace. Blessed be.
One way that we put our prayer of loving kindness into action is by partnering with other organizations who work to bring love, kindness, and justice to the world. During May, which is Mental Health Awareness Month, Emerson's Share the Basket partner is the Cobb County branch of the National Alliance on Mental Illness, NAMI. NAMI Cobb provides education programs, support, and advocacy for individuals living with a mental health condition, their families, caregivers, and friends, as well as the local communities in Cobb County, while also supporting the 5 surrounding counties. This summer, Emerson is happy to be partnering with NAMI Cobb to hold a class here at Emerson. The class is called Family to Family. This 8-week class is structured to help caregivers understand and support individuals with severe mental illness while maintaining their own well-being. More information will be shared about this in the upcoming Emerson newsletter. The basket will now be passed. For those in the sanctuary, as the basket is passed, please feel free to offer a donation or see a card in the basket for other ways to give. For those online, you may go to emersonuu.org and select the Giving tab to donate. All donations, unless otherwise specified, are shared equally between Emerson and NAMI, our partner organization this month. Thank you so much.
We're at the time now where the young and young at heart are invited to come to the front, and Judy Smith will be sharing our story this morning.
Hi, I'm Judy. This is a story called The Great Kapok Tree by Lynn Cherry. It's a story about the Amazon rainforest in South America. Two men walked into the rainforest. Moments before, the forest had been alive with the sound of squawking birds and howling monkeys. Now all was quiet as the creatures watched the two men and wondered why they had come. The larger man stopped and pointed to a great kapok tree. Then he left. The smaller man took the axe he carried and struck the trunk of the tree. Whack, whack, whack. The sounds of the blows rang through the forest. The wood of the tree was very hard. Chop, chop, chop. The man wiped off the sweat that ran down his face and neck. Whack, chop, whack, chop. Soon the man grew tired. He sat down to rest at the foot of the great kapok tree. Before he knew it, the heat and hum of the forest had lulled him to sleep. A boa constrictor lived in the kapok tree. He slithered down its trunk to where the man was sleeping. He looked at the gash the axe had made in the tree. Then the huge snake slid very close to the man and hissed in his ear, "Senor, this tree is a tree of miracles. It is my home, where generations of my ancestors have lived. Do not chop it down." A bee buzzed in the sleeping man's ear. "Senor, my hive is in this kapok tree, and I fly from tree to tree and flower to flower, collecting pollen. In this way, I pollinate the trees and flowers throughout the rainforest. You see, all living things depend on one another." A troop of monkeys scampered down from the canopy of the kapok tree. They chattered to the sleeping man, "Senor, we've seen the ways of man. You chop down one tree, then come back for another and another. The roots of these great trees will wither and die, and there will be nothing left to hold the earth in place. When the heavy rains come, the soil will be washed away, and the forest will become a desert." A toucan, a macaw, and a cock of the rock flew down from the canopy. "Senor," squawked the toucan, "you must not cut down this tree. We have flown over the rainforest and seen what happens once you begin to chop down the trees. Many people settle on the land. They set fires to clear the underbrush, and soon the forest disappears. Where once there was life and beauty, only black and smoldering ruins remain." A bright and small tree frog crawled along the edge of a leaf. In a squeaky voice, he piped in the man's ear, "Senor, a ruined rainforest means ruined lives, many ruined lives. You will leave many of us homeless if you chop down this great kapok tree." A jaguar had been sleeping along a branch in the middle of the tree because his spotted coat blended into the dappled light and shadows of the understory. No one had noticed him. Now he leapt down and padded silently over to the sleeping man. He growled in his ear, "Senor, the kapok tree is home to many birds and animals. If you cut it down, where will I find my dinner?" 4 tree porcupines swung down from branch to branch and whispered to the man, "Senor, do you know what we animals and humans need in order to live? Oxygen. And senor, do you know what trees produce? Oxygen. If you cut down the forest, you will destroy that which gives us all life." Several anteaters climbed down the kapok tree with their young clinging to their backs. The unstriped anteater said to the sleeping man, "Senor, you are chopping down this tree with no thought for the future. And surely you know that what happens tomorrow depends on what you do today. The big man tells you to chop down a beautiful tree. He does not think of his own children, who tomorrow must live in a world without trees." A three-toed sloth had begun climbing down from the canopy when the men first appeared. Only now did she reach the ground. Plodding ever so slowly over to the sleeping man, she spoke in her deep and lazy voice. "Señor, how much is beauty worth? Can you live without it? If you destroy the beauty of the rainforest, on what would you feast your eyes?" A child from the Yanomamo tribe who lived in the rainforest knelt over the sleeping man. He murmured in his ear, "Señor, when you awake, please look upon us all with new eyes." The man awoke with a start. Before him stood the rainforest child, and all around him, staring, were the creatures who depended upon the great kapok tree. What wondrous and rare animals they were. The man looked about and saw the sun streaming through the canopy. Spots of bright light glowed like jewels amidst the dark green forest. Strange and beautiful plants seemed to dangle in the air, suspended from the great kapok tree. The man smelled the fragrant perfume of their flowers. He felt the steamy mist rising from the forest floor, but he heard no sound, for the creatures were strangely silent. The man stood and picked up his axe. He swung back his arm as though to strike the tree. Suddenly he stopped. He turned and looked at the animals and the child. He hesitated, then he dropped the axe and walked out of the rainforest. The end.
Let's sing our song together in the words to our song on the back of the order.
Let us now enter into a time of prayer and meditation with the words of Reverend John Gibbons. I invite you to make yourselves comfortable, to begin to notice and deepen your breath, feeling yourselves connected to the earth and connected to one another in this community. If you wish to close your eyes, you're welcome to do so. Reverend Gibbons says, there are threshold moments in our lives. Moments when the past that lies behind us seems present and real. Moments when the future that lies ahead of us seems apparent and hopeful. Such special threshold moments when past and future meet in a vivid awareness of now are rare and are holy. Times such as these remind us that our time together comes to us as a precious gift, a gift that comes with choices and responsibilities for how it is to be used. We recognize the importance of these choices in our lives, and we celebrate them. And when out of all the universe people meet and choose to share their gift of time, it is a special occasion for celebration. This is a special threshold moment, here and now, which we are gathered to witness, and to honor. As we come together in community, in love, and in hope, we say, Spirit of life and love, we are gathered here together at this threshold moment to honor our Emerson founders, those who dug the well for our nourishment, and their hopes and their vision for us. May we go deep in our hearts giving thanks for the gift they have given us, this gift of the Emerson community. Let us honor this precious gift both in our hearts and in our deeds, here and out in the world. Let us honor it by being hopeful, even in these chaotic times. May we continue to celebrate all who join us here and work together to build this community, to be welcoming and honoring of all, to serve others, and to find our own unique ministry. May our own legacy be to work together so that this community continues to be a source of love, compassion, and justice for all beings. May we continue to be the congregation that our founders envisioned. May it be so.
We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love.
And now a reading from Reverend Gordon McKeanman, entitled, Ministry is What We All Do Together. Ministry is what we all do together. Ministry is that quality of being in community that affirms human dignity. Ministry beckons forth hidden possibilities, invites us into deep, more constant, reverent relationships, and carries forward our heritage of hope and liberation. Ministry is what we do together to celebrate triumphs of the human spirit, miracles of birth and life, wonders of devotions and sacrifice. Ministry is what we do together with one another in terror and torment, in grief, in misery and pain, enabling us in the presence of death to say yes to life. We who minister speak and live the best we know, with full knowledge that it is never quite enough. Yet we are reassured by the lostness found, fragments reunited, wounds healed, and joy shared. Ministry is what we do together.
Well, today is a special day. It's Founders Day, and each year, Founders Day is celebrated on the first Sunday of May. And this is in recognition that Emerson was founded on May 2nd in 1982, 43 years ago. Happy birthday, Emerson. There are 3 remaining founding members, Fred and Marjorie Macy and Ed Miller, and they were not able to be with us physically today, but they are here in spirit, and we have cards that will be available afterwards at the picnic for you to sign so we can send it to them. Well, there are many of you who have been at Emerson and have been a part of Emerson for many, many years, and at this time, I would like to invite those who joined Emerson in the first 10 years in the 1980s to raise your hand. I know there are a few. Oh, I thought it was, when did you join? Oh, 1990. Okay, in the 90s. Okay. In the 90s. Great, I see some. And how about in the 2000s? All right. 2010s? All right. Now, who joined during COVID? Oh, hey. Okay, who joined in the last year? Wow. Who here is a child who's here now? I see some of you. Raise your hands. You can even stand up if you want to. Yay. Did I skip anybody? All right. I skipped you? Oh, no? Okay. Now, all these hands from all the years, these are the foundation of this congregation and a representation of the future, too. And now I can imagine, just as I met with 2 visitors today, what it felt like to come through that door for the very first time, or to join online for the first time and put your name in the chat. Can you remember the butterflies in your stomach? I heard a yes. Each of you has a story of what brought you here, what started that first search online to who we are and what we stand for. Each of you has a story perhaps of loss or sadness, or perhaps a religious past that caused pain. All of that comes through the door here with hopes and dreams for what you're seeking here. And that took risk. that risk and willingness to be vulnerable and to come into a room and even think as you drove by that very first time, am I really going to turn into the parking lot? And then you sit in your car and you think, am I really going to walk in? We've all been there. I have a story like that too. In August of 2023, I started here as a minister, invited to be a contract minister that year. And I had dreams of my own and hopes and aspirations of what it would be like to be here with a whole group of people that I didn't know. I didn't know if I would find a home here. But as you were discerning if I was the right minister for you, I was also discerning as to whether or not this was the right place for me. But I can tell you by the end of the year, I knew pretty quickly that this is where I would really like to stay. And I know the congregation at the time was having to make their own decision as a group as to whether or not to call me as their next settled minister. And I am so grateful that we have come to where we are. I knew that this was a place I wanted to be because there was so much passion here for the mission and vision of what Emerson stands for. To be radically inclusive, open-minded, to be a beloved community that is a vibrant source of peace and hope and healing while seeking truths, celebrating differences, acting on our Unitarian Universalist principles, and inspiring the best in us, and beyond all that, serving the world. There's beautiful music here, there's religious education programs, there's community work and social justice, a growing library, so much. There's even animals in the sanctuary. And I am so glad to be here at a place that offers all of this. This is a place where people can come and grow and seek a place to see the values of Unitarian Universalism active not only in the world, but in their own heart and in our relationships with each other. Well, the first Founders Day was rolling around, May of 2024 last year, and I was really looking forward to being in one of those photos. And you see those in that hallway down the wall, there are all the photos from the years, and one of them is of the founders. And I said, I want to be in one of those pictures, and I hope I can be in pictures in the future. Well, turns out I got ill that week, and I took a COVID test, and I had COVID. So during Founders Day, I had absolutely no voice and hadn't even gotten to the quarantine period yet. I was just sick. So someone read the sermon that I wrote. And then, miraculously, I ended up in the photo after all. The next time you walk down that hallway, you'll see a photo from last year and me in it with a big, giant foam head. Oh my goodness. I'm glad to be here in person this year. And I'll tell you, I'll never forget that year of being the big foam head in the picture. We each took a risk to come here and join this special community. And we have each felt drawn to be with each other in a way that embraces the Unitarian Universalist values that we share. Reverend Grayson reflects on this. She says, "Here we are drawn together. Here we come every week, bound not by creed or our mutual desire to please one God or many gods or no God, yet we are drawn together by a belief that how we are in the world and who we are together matters. We come here in the knowledge that love, not fear, can change the world." Here we are matters. Yes, it does. And the founders of Emerson dreamed of a place such as this so many years ago. And that ancient wisdom in the book of Deuteronomy, we stand on the shoulders of those who have gone before us, and we drink from wells we did not dig, and we sit in the shade of trees we did not plant, and we are forever bound in community. Here at Emerson, we are bound together, not only by their dreams, but by our own. Our dreams and aspirations for the future of the children in this room is that the world gives them a place where they can not just strive, but thrive. And you know what? I want that for myself too. I think we all do. We are individuals, but our true power is that we have always been, that when we decide to move together towards a common goal, that we are ourselves in a shared ministry here. We each have a part of the ministry of what we do together. Did you know that the root of ministry is to walk with and to serve? Together, our shared ministry here is to walk with each other every day, to be reminded that we are not ever alone. Some might feel that that is the force of God ever present in their life. And I know for me, the holy and the sacred is in my relationship with you. I know that I am not alone when I am a part of this community. And to serve you and to have you serve me and our relationships together, and to serve each other and to serve our children within this congregation and to serve the world outside these walls. As Bernadine shared earlier in the reading, shared ministry is a quality and a relationship between and among human beings that beckons forth hidden possibilities, and that it is inviting each of us into a deeper, more constant, more reverent relationship with the world and with one another. I want that. And I try to live that every day with you and here and for the world. And Emerson helps me do that more every day. Ministry is what we do together. That risk and vulnerability, I still feel it sometimes. I come in the building and I think, oh my goodness, imposter syndrome. I feel it. Do you ever feel that in your life too? With your jobs and sometimes in relationships? Sometimes I feel it when I want to sing a song. I actually have an audition for a choral group that I'm really, really nervous about because I have to sing alone in the audition. I'm really good with others. But I harmonize well, but a solo, don't know about that. That risk that brought us through this door, that risk and vulnerability that we all know of in our lives. I feel it with you, but I know I am emboldened by the love that I feel back from you. May you feel that from me and from everyone in this room and for all of those in this community. You know, living our Unitarian Universalist values, that's kind of in the trenches in that sense. We have to live them out by making decisions every day to work together to build these relationships. And that is when love is at the center. As Reverend McKeeman reflects, together on this path, we are in a community that affirms and beckons hidden possibilities and invites us into more constant, deep, and reverent relationships. Yes, those relationships are the salve that we need sometimes in the days that we live in and in the uncertainty of the present. And we are reassured in that ministry that we share together that we walk together, serve each other, and we are never alone. And this, I think, is the embodiment of the dreams of those founders. May we live that every day. May it be so, and amen. Let's sing together. We'll build a land, number 121 in your gray hymnal if you need it, and the words will be on the screen. Thank you. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, "Faith is taking the first step, even when you can't see the whole staircase." And with that in mind, let's each take the first step of faith today, here, together. Go with faith, not the kind that is called to move mountains, but the quieter sort that calls us to take that first step, even when the whole staircase is out of view. And as we stride towards the unseen, may we notice that the way will unfold as we risk traveling it. And may we remember and trust that none of these steps are the ones we take alone. I was wondering, would you help me put out the chalice? You want to help me? Let's do it together. Here, Bernadine. I'll show you.
As our chalice is extinguished this morning, we extinguish this chalice, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts and out into the world until we are together again. And just a few announcements. Next week, I hope you will join us as our own Emerson graduating youth will be honored in a bridging ceremony. This annual tradition is always a meaningful time for our whole congregation. And I hope everybody will stay and join us for the annual photo. Directly right after the service, we'll just go right out and find a place and we'll get our picture taken. And right after the photo, we're going to have a picnic, and everyone is invited to join in. We extend our gratitude for the support of the Hospitality Committee and the Creative Matters Listening Circle, who contributed to getting the picnic ready. As our service ends, now go in peace and take peace wherever you go. Yeah.
This is an exciting day, our 43rd anniversary. And we're going to have our photograph made, and we're all set up. And I want you to listen very carefully. I want everybody to go out front. And I'm going to ask the choir to go first. And I want to ask Christina to go to lead that, so to make sure you're in the middle for real this time. And we're going to, the ushers are going to dismiss you, and then just line up outside the door. There's enough people here that have done this before. Just follow their lead. But this is a great day.
Where should the children go?
The children should, if you know your children, go get them and bring them out. They're in the nursery. I've just talked to Michael briefly, but go in there they're in the nursery, I think, or Michael might bring them out. But this is a great time, and we'll go, and I love to look at these. If you have not walked down this wall and looked at the great photographs, it's remarkable that we're still here. So I will leave and let Christina lead us out, and then the choir will follow her. And this is great. And smile.